Today's broadcast is brought to you by 789 Tees, a t-shirt store for gamers, geeks, and Christians. If you love dumb jokes, bad puns, or good art, click the link in the description. Both Adam and Mike are ministers with Campus Ambassadors, an organization helping college students get into Jesus-loving communities for over 50 years. If you're interested in getting more Jesus in your college, check out campusambassadors.com.
Mike and Adam's dreams and feelings.
Are you ready, Mike? Hold on, I'm just gonna put this on the table. Boom.
Will it hear me?
Mike, you talk so loud, I think our neighbors hear you.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, someone's gotta listen to us talk.
Yes. Have you ever wanted to start off like one of those creepy college radio broadcasts?
Like a pirate broadcast?
Yeah. Or like one of those like dude man bros. Like, I'm Malicious Mike. And this is Atom Bomb. Welcome to the Toilet Hour.
That's what we're talking about. Toilet, toilet, toilet.
Toilet, toilet, toilet.
Is that what we're calling our show now?
The Toilet Hour.
Welcome to the Toilet Hour.
More like an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah, we're bad at sticking to time limits.
Yes.
We just have so much to say.
Right.
But you're not listening to Toilet Hour, by the way. This is, in case you mistakenly clicked on this is a wholesome family show.
Yes.
This is Mike and Adam's
Dreams and feelings.
Dreams and feelings.
Stole that thunder.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
You always gotta one up me, Mike.
Yes.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Where I had important things to do Friday. I had to go to the inauguration.
Yes.
For Donald Trump. It was really hard getting that sign actually passed Secret Service. I had to tape it to my leg.
Yes. You got so shot.
I did. I really shot.
Yes.
I've actually been in the hospital the last couple of days, but I'm good now. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely worth it. That was a weird day.
It was.
Inauguration day. What had happened was I was getting lunch with my family, and we were at this local restaurant in the city, and it was playing on all the TVs, obviously, because it's just like a big day. But not to get too serious too quickly, I feel like we jumped into something real serious.
Back to the Toilet Hour.
Back to Toilet Hour. But I was watching it, and the thing that struck me the most was when our president Donald Trump and the 44th president Barack Obama, when they came out of the rotunda, and they were and their wives were brought to them, so then they could go to the helicopter and go. Donald kind of looked at his wife Melina. I don't know how to say her name. Melina is a character from Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Yeah.
He looked at her and nodded, and Barack held her hand and kissed her on the cheek.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't think anything better describes the two presidents than that interaction with their wives. Mm-hmm. And and that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Well, I want to believe that they had a slumber party before.
Yeah.
Where they watched rom-coms.
Yeah.
With Ryan Gosling.
Right.
Made Chicago popcorn.
Chicago popcorn. That's so good.
Yes.
That stuff's so good. But I saw this picture of Melina and Michelle, and they had their arms around each other. It was a picture from the back, and I was like, if that's not a picture of what America needs to be right now, I don't know what else is.
Right.
It's just
ladies coming together.
Right. Exactly.
And not to throw TVs through glass plates.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yes.
But anyways, we digress. We talk about fun things on this podcast.
Yes, we're dreams and feelings.
Exactly. We just
not realities in business.
Not sad reality.
Yes.
This podcast is about escapism.
Yeah, speaking of fun, I had the stomach flu last week.
I heard.
Yes.
Miranda talked about how she had to do the Bible study without you, and
yes. So, I'm learning a few things.
About
Number
the stomach
one,
bug?
if you eat slightly old bacon, then you do a strenuous workout.
You'll throw up?
No, and then you have creamer that was out all night. Then you're probably going to lose it about 4 times.
Give or take?
Yeah.
Is that your professional opinion?
Yes, that's my professional opinion. And then for the next 48 hours, you're just going to be so dizzy in the head. But you know what the worst thing is? Is the delirium that comes with the stomach bug. Because after I got sick, I was okay. But every time I closed my eyes, I had this vision that I was on a starship.
Okay.
And every time I opened my eyes, I'm like, there's something wrong with the starship. My people are lost in space.
They need their captain.
Yes, they need their captain.
Oh, captain, my captain.
Yeah, so it was very trippy last week.
That's wow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, but the next day I got 8 episodes of The Flash off my belt.
Nice. Well, that's a better day.
Yeah.
And those are 45-minute episodes too.
Yeah.
What season? First, second?
Season 2.
Season 2. Okay.
So, I don't want to give any spoilers, but very sad for Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're in for a ride.
Oh, yes.
You're in for a ride.
I know in the DC no one stays dead.
Right. That's how it is.
Especially with contracts.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
But speaking of Netflix, Lemony Snicket just came out.
Yes.
What did you think of it versus the movie?
I did not like the movie from what I remember when it came out. I know that Jim Carrey was neither here nor there, I think. Like, I don't... But the new one, I feel like Neil Patrick Harris is phenomenal. I think he really kind of captures he kind of captures the character, I think, really well. He's a good actor, he's a good singer, but he's the costumes in the show are great. I think his outfits are wonderful. I think all the characters are really likable.
Yeah. Well, the impression I got, I saw someone on Facebook say that Jim Carrey plays Jim Carrey, but Neil Patrick Harris plays someone who's a villain.
Exactly.
But I didn't see that. I saw Neil Patrick Harris playing someone who loves himself and does that, like, I'm sexy voice. And he's just wearing a fake nose. So all I saw was Barney.
Barney. That's actually funnier.
Yeah. So, at least with Jim Carrey can ham it up a little, but I think both comedians played to their strengths.
Sure, absolutely. To be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Carrey.
Yeah, well, he had a shot in the 90s.
Yeah, like the Hugh Truman Show.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Exactly.
That was 80s.
That was good.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like the show, and I know that they're getting picked up for at least another season. I know they're doing... somebody broke it down for me, but I think they're doing books 1 through... Or the next... I think 4 through 8 or whatever for the next season, and then whatever. But it seems like it's really popular. Netflix has just been hitting it out of the park.
Right. Anything you can dream of becomes a 6-season deal.
Right, exactly. Which is fantastic.
Yes, you want Robert Redford to be a Shogun ninja?
Absolutely.
We have it.
We have it.
Naruto versus X-Men? Why not?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I want Netflix to maybe take some shows that didn't get a second season or maybe a third season, and just like, hey, let's just make it happen. Like, could you imagine if they made like Firefly? Or have you seen a show called Gallivant?
Yes.
Okay, so...
actually, I've heard of it.
Okay, so me and my friends just binge-watched the first 2 seasons, and for those of you not in the know, it was kind of a filler show that ABC created when Once Upon a Time was off-air, because they do seasons weird. So the first season is only 8 episodes, and they're 20 minutes long. And then the second season is 10 episodes, also the same length. But it's really good. So it's like it's a plot-driven show, but it's like a musical. So and it's really funny. It's really self-aware. It's hilarious. It's really great. But there's only there's only 20 episodes.
Yes.
And they didn't get picked up for a second season, so I was like, hey, Netflix, you should definitely maybe give shows like that a chance.
It's part of TV's promise that everything good must die.
It's true. I also do appreciate shows that end before they get really bad. Looking at you, Star Trek.
Looking at you, Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at you, Family Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, or Grey's Anatomy. Like, who is there anybody from the original cast of Grey's Anatomy still on the show? Is that show still on the air?
I don't know anything about Grey's Anatomy. It's just like it was a brothel, but they did hospital things on the side.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Oh man, but yeah, no, TV shows definitely have a shelf life. Or they should have a shelf life. I definitely would rather a show die in its prime rather than it dwindle out in some.
Yeah. The one thing I love about the Serenity franchise is that, like, with Joss behind the wheel, even in the comic books,
right,
like, it's just so intriguing. Like, he gets the atmosphere down, the lovableness of the characters, the cohesion of the team.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just lightsaberless Star Wars with Southern accents.
Right, which is takes a little bit of getting used to at first.
Yes. And so, I love it. So, of course, it had to die.
As with anything Joss Whedon does.
Yes. Because every time I love again,
right,
it dies.
It dies. It's a little dark.
Yeah.
It's a little dark. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
Yes.
But, so, I mean, speaking of TV shows and stuff that we'd like to be renewed, you asked a really good question, I think, about comic books that I definitely want to get into.
This is our top 5 ranking. Top 5 ranking.
Yeah.
That was totally recorded.
yeah. That was great.
Yes.
But our top 5 comic book series that we feel should get a TV deal, a movie, something.
Movie deal, yeah.
Movie deal, yes. So, do you want to start, Mike? What do you got?
Okay, for number 5, I wrote Savage Dragon.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of this.
Image Comics back in the early 90s, where it was cool just to be a superhero who ran around shooting Uzis.
Right.
They came out with Savage Dragon, which is like half man, half dragon. He wore a police outfit.
He's got a mohawk. I just looked it up. He's got like this thin mohawk.
Yeah, he's so bad. He goes into like drug houses and just Uzis first. And then like says something about the law and how we should follow it. And
that's wonderful.
So
he's very 90s.
He's so 90s.
That's great. Mine's in the other direction. I'm wondering how we haven't had a movie adaptation of Archie comics.
Right.
That just writes itself. Jughead, Veronica.
Yeah, it's so
Archie,
true.
Betty. Like, how's there not been like a rom-com Archie comics? Like, Marvel, get that done.
Netflix,
somebody.
Yes.
Miniseries. It'd be great. I would watch it.
Right, absolutely.
The characters are lovable. They all have really good quirks. Like, Jughead is classic.
And I just think Zack Snyder should be in there somewhere.
Right, somehow. For those of you not in the know about what Archie Comics is, essentially it's just a group of high school friends, and they just go on misadventures with each other, whether that's dating, relationships, solving mysteries, hanging out with the Pussycat Dolls.
Which got a movie.
Yes. Anything and everything.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Oh, so number 4. This is my apology to Batman versus Superman. There was actually a much better story arc called Batman and Superman Public Enemies.
Okay.
And that's back when Lex Luthor was president.
Yeah.
And he framed Batman and Superman, and they were like, it was them versus America.
Right.
All the villains Lex Luthor could hire to find them.
Right.
And then it has that wonderful finale where like Batman just beats up on Lex Luthor and yelling at him and saying, you know, you shouldn't be president and
Right.
not my president. And
Right.
then Superman goes and it's his turn to beat up Lex Luthor.
They take turns.
Yes, they take turns. So I just think that was that should have been in the place of Batman v Superman.
I think that's I think that comic book art is one of those times where art imitates life a little too real.
Yes. It's true.
So my next one is it's not necessarily a comic book. It's more of a graphic novel,
Right.
But you know, in the vein of like Watchmen and Kick-Ass and stuff like that, and those kind of movies. But it's Mouse by Art Spiegelman. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's a graphic novel that depicts the characters going true life story of them going through the Holocaust, but the characters are all the Jewish characters are characterized by mice, and the Nazis are cats. So it's like anthropomorphized. Was that English? I don't know, but it's really good. It won a Pulitzer, and it's good. And I don't know. There's just something that I want to see. Like CGI little cute character creatures going through the Holocaust. I know that's kind of dark, but there's something. I don't want to see someone go through the Holocaust. Sorry, what I meant to say is just like there's something very interesting about seeing something that we think of as something for children, like comic books or CGI or cartoon things going through really serious, really adult situations that allow us to then talk about them in ways that we wouldn't normally be able to talk about. Because when we talk about Schindler's List or we watch movies like that, it's really hard because we see really graphic, really hard things happening on screen, and it's our mind just isn't able to cope with it, and we're not able to talk about it. But what Art Spiegelman's Mouse did was allow us to kind of distance ourselves a little bit from what was happening, because it's happening to like animals, but also then have really hard conversations that become easier to talk about.
Yes.
So
that's a good one.
So I like Mouse. It's good.
Yeah. For my number 3, I chose the Ultimates universe. Now, technically, all the Marvel movies you see borrow heavily from the Ultimates universe.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. The Ultimates universe, for those of you not in the know, is the alternative universe for the Marvel, and it has a little bit more darker rated R appeal to it.
Yeah.
It also was where you could make creative side stories that you've never heard about characters. For example, Red Skull is Captain America's son. Reed, Mr. Fantastic, is actually a villain that's tried to eradicate humanity many times.
That's funny. That's great. I love it.
Iron Man grew up with this skin defect that made him like 80 times smarter, but his skin was always like trying to eat itself.
Weird.
Yes. So he actually grew up with like blue skin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's powers are directly related to like a mutation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And actually, mutants were invented in Canada.
Of course they were.
Part of the Captain America project.
Okay.
That accidentally made Wolverine.
Right. So the Captain America project got taken to.
Well, Canada had their own branch.
Right. The Weapon
yeah,
X.
Yeah, Weapon X.
Okay.
So, and also that's where you get the Samuel L. Jackson version of what's it?
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. I almost said Ric Flair.
That would have been great.
Yeah, of Nick Fury. So,
ooh, sorry.
Yeah, I would love to see kind of like a darker, grittier retelling of the Marvel stories.
That would be cool. Definitely get on board with that.
And in their version, Hulk looks like Steve Buscemi.
Doesn't he always?
Yes.
Now that's all I can think about.
Yes.
Not Mark Ruffalo.
No.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So for my third one is another more along the lines of a graphic novel, but it's a series called Fables. I don't know if you've heard of this. Actually, Telltale Games has created an app game, an action RPG, choose your own adventure thing, almost like the what is it called? The Walking Dead, seasons 1 and 2, based off of this comic book series, and specifically, what it's about is essentially all the fables and all the fairy tale creatures exist, and it's about them trying to survive in the real world. So it's like, Beauty and the Beast, like figuring out marriage in the real world, so stuff like that.
Yeah.
But specifically, the story arcs follow along the lines of a lot of Americana characters. So like Paul Bunyan and the Lone Ranger and stuff like that make appearances. But the first story arc in what the game is actually based on is this character named Bigby Wolf, which is the big bad wolf. Yeah. But he's essentially the sheriff of Fabletown, which is almost like Chinatown in New York City, but it's like a Fabletown. And he's investigating the murder of a character named Rose Red, which is Little Red Riding Hood. So he's investigating that, and it's really good, really gritty, really, and it's really inventive. Like, there's nothing really out there like that.
Right.
I mean, you have like Once Upon a Time, which is similar, but it's not as dark and gritty. It's the way that I would describe kind of Fable is, Sin City meets kind of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Oh, excellent. Round number 2. Oh, by the way, side comment. What would be an inappropriate game for Telltale to make into Choose Your Own Adventure?
Choose Your Own Adventure? Schindler's List.
That would just make me cry.
That'd be...
But I was thinking more like Doom.
Yeah.
You just don't do anything but make choices.
Right. It's like the Halo, just make choices.
Do I shoot?
Far Cry.
Yes. Grand Theft Auto.
Right, exactly. Because there's something to be said, like, you're playing the game, you're like, should I steal this car? Yeah, I'm just gonna steal it because I need to get somewhere. That's another to like make the like a game choice. Like, it's like right now, do you want to steal this car from this middle-aged woman? And you're like, oh, maybe not.
Yes.
She probably needs that to get to work.
Yes. She didn't get her medication. You monster.
Way to go.
Yes.
Telltale games. Those... we're going to talk about this a little later on, but I think Telltale Games is one of the very few app developing companies that are doing it right.
Right.
And they're not doing crazy DLC. They're not doing anything under the table, underhanded. They're they're giving you a high quality game at a good quality price, and they're wonderful. I like them.
Yes. You can count on one hand all the AAA games you can play on your Android.
Right, and they're probably all made by Telltale
Yes.
Games.
Yes, probably. Yeah. I've wanted to play a wolf in... What is it called?
Oh, it's...
I want to call it a wolf in sheep's clothing, but that's not right.
So that's the game that's based on Fable. Hold on.
The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us, yeah.
Yes.
So that game follows the arc of the first 5 comics of Fables.
Yeah, I know it's based on Aesop's Fables too.
Yep. Yeah, so all the characters in the universe are based on European and American folklore, which is really cool.
Yeah. So number 2 would be anything like it of its kind. It's a buddy film in the vein of superheroes, Booster Gold,
yes,
and Blue Beetle.
Yes! Oh my gosh, that would be perfect.
Doing their normal hijinks. It would be great if they could get, was it Ryan Gosling and...
to play Booster Gold?
To play Booster Gold,
yeah.
And that 70s cop movie he did. Who was the other actor?
Oh. Oh man,
Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling side by side getting into hijinks.
That's funny. That's great.
I would watch that 6 times over.
That's so funny. That's great. Okay, so my second one is a character that doesn't get a lot of love. He's definitely one of my favorite Marvel characters, and that's Moon Knight. I want a Moon Knight movie. He's essentially, I don't want to say he's Marvel's Batman, but he's in that vein.
He's kind of like Image's Spawn a little.
Exactly. If you take Batman and Spawn and like the character, so but he's great. He's he's a ninja, and and the character's name is Mark Spector. The guy's name is Mark Spector, and he's a mercenary marine, whatever, and he got trained, and so he's an Olympic level athlete, whatever.
Yes.
But his superpower, given to him by what are they called? Egyptian gods, essentially. Yeah. They give him the ability to copy and replicate anyone's fighting style, kind of like Taskmaster. So, the more you like hit him and fight him, the stronger and better he gets at fighting.
Wow.
So he's really cool. And I would love to see a movie based on that. I think that'd be really compelling.
How would he do against the Hulk? Hulk gets stronger the more you hit him.
Right, exactly.
He gets better the more you hit him.
Right. Well, I think it'd be interesting to see them fight, because the Hulk doesn't really have a fighting style, right? Like he's just brute force strength.
Yes.
So it's just like Moon Knight wouldn't get he doesn't get stronger. Like he doesn't, like his strength doesn't exponentially increase. But he does have like a certain level of like pain tolerance and stuff, given like through superpowers and stuff. But like that would be interesting to see, because he's in the same vein as like Batman or Taskmaster or Deathstroke, those kind of characters. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
My number one, and I actually love this group because it's a team of superheroes that predates the X-Men.
Ooh.
In fact, some people think that the X-Men actually borrowed heavily, because they had a guy, a head scientist who rules the team, who's in a wheelchair and he's very smart.
The Incredibles?
No, it's called Doom Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Doom Patrol is like a bunch of like circus oddities, mutants, kind of. They have a Metal Man, a guy who's a human brain and a robot. They have a both man and both female person named Rebus, who's wrapped in the mummy. And they... forget, and they have a bunch of other characters. They have this, in the current arc that I'm reading, they have a girl named Mary Jane who has 64 alternate personalities, and each one has a superpower.
That's crazy.
So, and basically they're kind of like the mentally sick Justice League of America.
Exactly.
And they solve all the mentally sick problems that face the world. Like, someone reads a philosopher's book that turns the world into a world that doesn't make any sense. Right. And so the world just starts going crazy, and they're the only ones who understand it. Right. To actually fight it.
That'd be awesome. That sounds really cool. Yeah. Also, Beast Boy is from Doom Patrol. Yeah. He was raised by Doom Patrol. Yeah. So, very cool.
So, and my idea is to kind of bring in the whole DC universe. You have the Joker saying he put a megaton bomb somewhere in Gotham, but then he goes into a coma, and they have to go into his brain and understand his brain to get the information.
That'd be cool.
Yes,
that'd be really interesting.
I would watch that six times over.
6 times. Was that your number 2?
That was my number 1.
Okay. And my number 1 is, again, another graphic novel, but it's called Bone. I don't know if you saw it. And it's essentially, it follows 3 characters. They're all cousins. There's this really greedy guy named Phony Bone, and then this other guy named Smiley Bone, who's like really happy-go-lucky or whatever. And then kind of the main character, Phone Bone. And the 3 of them... are run out of their hometown because Phony Bone try to run for mayor or whatever, but then they end up on this grand adventure. They meet people, and they run away from rat men and other things. And it's a really cool, really big overarching story about the 3 of them, and it's really good. It's really good. It's more so story and relationship driven, more than maybe necessarily action. But I think it has there's a lot of content in it, and I think someone with a good vision for it and a good vision for storytelling could definitely do a really good job with it. So
Yeah, that one is. I could see that as like a DreamWorks adaptation.
Yeah, right. Or somebody.
Yeah.
Like I think DreamWorks. That's a good call. Or I can also maybe see it more as like a TV series, like Netflix picking it up or something, and just because there's just so much content there that you couldn't do justice with just one movie. But,
Right.
Bone was definitely one of the things that I gravitated towards when I was 12 or 13. So it's just like I liked comics, but I also liked really overarching narratives. So Bone and Fables and those are two comic book series that I really enjoyed reading.
Yeah.
So
Good choices.
good choices for you too, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really nice is, what made this really hard was a lot of movies or a lot of comic book series that I would like to see be made into movies have been done, but they've been done really terribly.
Yes.
So like, I would love for a good Ghost Rider.
Oh man. Yes.
Or a really good Jonah Hex.
Oh man. Megan Fox free.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, those are I really like as much as the A-list superheroes, as good as they are. Like I'm getting kind of tired of Captain America and Wolverine. Like we're getting an Old Man Logan movie.
Oh yeah.
Which will be good,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm getting kind of tired. I want to see a good Jonah Hex movie. I want to see a good Booster Gold movie.
Yes, a good Booster Gold.
Right. I feel like that would be DC's response to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Just like a goofy, feel-good romp in space.
Yeah, come on. And the other guys would show up.
Oh, for sure.
Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are always put into the B group.
Right.
And they're always like, one day we'll save the world. And
Right.
then they find some like hidden threat to the world that no one else knows about.
Right.
And then they'd be like, we just saved the world. And Superman's always like, yeah, right.
If there was something bad happening, I would know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's just off smooching Lewis.
Yes.
Lois.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You know what I really hate about trailers? I really hate that they all have this theme now where, okay, so you fade into the scene of the trailer and then you hear a boom.
Right.
And then you hear this lady's voice start singing very slowly.
Right, yeah. In a language that you don't know.
Right, or like it'll be a cover but sung very solemnly, like it's at a funeral. Like,
Right.
all around the mulberry bush.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
The monkey pops the weasel. Boom. Power Rangers. Summer 2017.
No actual footage, just that.
Yes.
Man,
it happened like in 4 movies in a row when I went to the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and they're all trying to be artsy now too. They're just like panning shots in like sepia tones.
Yes.
Over the weekends, Andre and I were watching football games on Sunday, and there's a trailer. Guy Ritchie is directing a new adaptation of King Arthur. Hold on, I forgot what it's called, but it's a very stylized kind of trailer, and it looks really good and it looks really compelling, but
like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. So it's called I think it's called King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, and it looks really good, but the trailer was just like it was like all jump cuts and like you're just like, oh, he's getting his head cut off, now he's riding on a horse and he's jumping over a bridge and now he's fighting a bunch of knights and now he's fighting and now he's talking to this other character that we have no idea who he is, and it's just like all these stylized kind of jump cuts.
Cut to him jumping in slow motion with dual Berettas,
Exactly.
firing in a Mexican cantina.
Exactly. all of a sudden a CGI version of Eddie Guerrero comes out.
Yes.
And Frog splashes him off the bar.
Yes.
But yeah, so I agree. Trailers are definitely weird. And you know what I hate more than trailers?
What?
Trailers for pay to win.
Oh, right. So
app games.
we actually have a special guest. Adam's going to step out for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'm
yeah.
gonna get some water.
We have here, he's been very quiet, we have Rich Hendricks, and we're going to...
Hello.
Yep. Oh, hi, Rich. We're going to interview him on his game. So today I'm interviewing Rich Hendricks, the creator of the popular freemium game League of Naruto Xbox Angels Battlefield of Duty. He is an inspiring game developer hoping to make the big time. Now, Rich, why don't you tell us about the game?
I'm glad to be here, Mike. But I've always dreamed of creating the next Super Mario or Final Fantasy or something like that. I don't know who actually makes those games, but I want to be them. But which is pretty much why it inspired me to make this free game on Android. League of Naruto Xbox Angels Battlefield of Duty. It's about creativity and originality, and really I feel like it's a breath of fresh air that's so badly needed in mobile gaming.
So tell us a little about this game. What's the story about?
It's about angels fighting in a league for an Xbox, Naruto, and a Battlefield of Duty. It's the story as old as the Bible. Everyone knows.
Right.
We actually got some voice actors to play some of the pivotal characters.
Oh, like who?
One of my original characters, Batman, is voiced by an ex-pro wrestler, Randy Savage. He just really says, "Oh yeah," a lot.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but Randy Savage is dead.
I know. I said ex-pro wrestler.
Oh, okay. All right. Moving on. The art is very iconic for many freemium games. And many of you say that you actually brought in truckloads of pictures from China.
I guess you could say that, but my critics have been saying that I just right-clicked and saved a bunch of anime art and pics off Google and just put a lot of cleavage on it. It's not true. I had to search long and hard in DeviantArt to find the right anime girls. Some of those pics couldn't be fixed in Photoshop, mostly because I'm really bad at Photoshop. And I thought that being a game developer is easy, but it takes a lot of hard work. I wore out the right click on two mouses.
Oh gosh, yes. So about this gameplay, you said in an article that it's a massive online first-person shooter with rich role-playing elements and a style most enjoyed by Grand Theft Auto players.
Yeah, that's true. I stand behind that message 100%. It's a massive online game. Have you ever just wanted to have 20 people from Korea in your house playing a game? I mean, that's how massive this game is. There's no room to breathe. First person means that in the game, I encourage everyone to pretend to understand their character from a first person perspective, but you don't actually move your character or get to see them that often, but you can pretend to have a story with them from a first person account.
Okay, so it's a shooter.
I guess it's a shooter in that I have a button in the game called Shooter. If you press the button, it removes 2 damage from the final boss. The final boss has like 6 million health. If you pay for the extra special helper package for $20.99 a month, you can do the shooter move like 3 more times.
What about the rich role-playing elements?
I just told you have them. If you pay for the extra special helper package, you get to do the shooter move like 3 times. We don't need to be more complicated with health upgrades or damage.
Okay, moving on. You also said Grand Theft Auto fans will love this.
Oh, absolutely. You know how in Grand Theft Auto you can lure a hobo into an alley and rob him blind and beat him senseless with a bat?
I'm very aware of this, yes.
So essentially, I metaphorically did that to all the gamers who downloaded this. They should appreciate the irony.
Oh, right. Well, you're very blunt. Tell us about the graphical engine. It has to use the Unity engine, right?
Listen, Mike, my Apple II in my parents' basement can't handle anything with the words engines written on it. I basically made my own, air quotes, engine in C++. Here's how it works. You hit a button and a picture of a nice broad shows up. If you want to do more in the game, you have to give me some more money and more pictures of nice broads just show up.
It just sounds like a subscription of risque anime art.
Name one freemium game that isn't that.
Okay, good point.
But honestly, it's not about the gameplay. It's about the hype and the emotion. right now I have an ad on Facebook depicting how I feel about the game. It says real game footage, and it has a video of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat throwing grenades at Solid Snake. That's how I feel about the game, and I think anyone who plays it will feel the same.
So your collection of ill-dressed women and pay-to-slightly-win gameplay feels like a mashup of Mortal Kombat and Metal Gear Solid? Sounds kind of deceptive.
It's not all bad. I also give out people's information to the CIA when they subscribe.
Well, thank you, Rich. If you want to download this game, go to the Android store and type in "I have no integrity."
Oh, well, that's not what our game is called, but I'm sure it'll show up.
Yeah, it'll probably show up.
I'm gonna go now, Mike.
All right, yes, you have a good one.
I'll try.
Don't quit your day job.
I don't have one.
Not surprised.
What did I miss, Mike?
Oh, Adam, come in. It was horrible.
How horrible was it?
Oh, he was a sleaze. Total scumbag.
Is that fedora on the table his? Because he left it.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, he kept asking about why there weren't enough Funyuns in the green room.
Yeah.
I told him we didn't have a green room.
Yes.
And those Funyuns were mine.
Yes, of course. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. Where did you meet this guy?
Oh, well, you know, they're all over Android.
Oh.
These games. I tried to pick the cleanest one.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I failed.
That was the cleanest one?
Yes.
That's kind of sad, Mike.
Yes.
What is the world coming to?
Yeah.
My world for a wholesome Bible app-driven game.
Yeah, like Noah's Ark 3D.
That sounds... What would you... It would be like... what is it called? Sims, but like with animals.
Well, little known game on the Super Nintendo called Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Oh,
It was
it's a real game?
It was Wolfenstein's engine. Animals would charge at you in the Ark, and you had to throw food into their mouths via slingshot, and then
Okay.
they'd fall asleep.
That's... Did you put drugs in their food, or...
I mean, you'd have to.
Right,
You'd
right.
have to. All biblically accurate.
Right. Not because they peacefully came and
No.
talked. No. Because, the Lord was leading them
no,
and using
no.
Noah. No, it's because of the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. But, no, Mike, if you were going to make a wholesome, real app game, what would you make?
Oh!
Because this is the conversation we have to have.
That's the 4 gold star question
Right.
that I need to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
And if there's any add-ons, they're free.
Right.
Let's just get that right out of the way.
Right.
So it's going to be story-driven, where you only need to play it for 6 hours, and then there'll be like a survival version where you can get the high score, but you don't have to keep playing to get the newest reward or to whatever you do in those freemium games.
Right.
No, I've delayed enough because I'm still trying to think of what's going to be in that game.
Right.
Oh!
Maybe this is something we can table and then bring it to the pod next week.
Right.
We'll create our own freemium game.
Well, I think it's just a revelation simulator.
Okay.
You have to create the best end of the world.
Dark.
Yes.
Okay, so note that, podcast listeners, we're gonna go back to the drawing board, I think, and then we'll come back next week.
Right.
And we'll have a developed plan, I think, and we'll pitch it to each other and see what happens.
Yes.
But yeah, it was good. And poor Rich, I hope it works out for him.
We're praying for him.
Yeah, and his neck beard.
And his neck beard. And his Fred Durst cap.
Exactly, and his addiction to Mountain Dew.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Not that any of those things individually are bad, just together on Rich.
Yes. Rich makes it look evil.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, he's trying to come back in.
Yeah.
No, don't...
No.
No, you're
Rich.
good. Rich, no, you're done.
No, you didn't leave your wallet in here.
No. He left his wallet in here. He's buying us lunch.
Yes.
Did we just condone stealing on a podcast with proposed Christian values?
Well, you know what the Bible says. Steal from the rich, give to the poor.
Oh no! I don't think they were referring to a specific rich.
Yes.
I think they meant just in general.
Right. Oh, darn it.
That's so great. So, now to the portion of the podcast that we've all been waiting for.
Have we been?
Oh, I've been.
Oh, what have you been waiting for?
The Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh, choose your own adventure.
So
we're gonna try a couple. I think that this week and next week we're gonna try 2 different ones. But the first one I feel is very us. It's a wrestling, choice-driven, choose-your-own-adventure. So I think how it's gonna work is I'm gonna narrate, and you're gonna make choices.
I'm gonna make choices and sound effects.
And sound effects, of course. So the one we chose is called Slammed. It's a wrestling choose-your-own-adventure story.
Slammed.
So we'll give us a go, and if you guys like it, we'll try and continue it. So we'll see what happens. We want this podcast to be about you guys, so we'll get right into it. So credit where credit's due. The game is called Slammed by Paulo Chicomaco. I can't say his last name. I'm
But
sorry.
he knows who he is.
He knows who he is. So, Chapter 1. The Backyard Basher.
Ding, ding, ding.
The scene unfolds like a dream, at least at first. There you were, standing tall and proud, arms outstretched like an invitation to worship. All around you, voices obliged. They were chanting a name.
Team, go, team, go, team.
They were chanting a name. Your
go,
name.
Jeff. Go, Jeff.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. You soaked everything in for just one more second. What's the harm? Then crouch atop the turnbuckle and launch yourself high in the air, spinning like an Olympic diver before pinning your prey.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Bam.
Or at least, that was the plan. Your left foot, the top rope, had other ideas. This is gonna hurt. Slam! You hit the mat hard, and your head did a little bounce, arousing a sympathetic intake of breath from a small segment of the audience that wasn't laughing their lungs out. You lay unmoving at the feet of your opponent. So you get to choose between 2 different guys. Big Benji from the Kirby's Men Wrestling School, or Big Brenda from the Kirby's Wrestling League.
Those are the 2 that can help you?
No, those are the people that you're fighting
Oh.
in the ring.
I'm gonna choose Brenda.
Big Brenda?
Big Brenda.
I think if you choose Big Brenda, I think it's going to make you be a female.
Oh.
But I'm not sure. Do
You know what?
you want to be a female?
It's 2017.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Who says that we can't roleplay as a woman? Let's
Go,
do
Jeff. The female.
it. Brenda rolls her eyes in disdain. She blew a kiss at the crowd and then dragged you away from the ropes and hooked your legs as she lay across your body. 1,
2,
3. You remember how much you disliked the big woman when you were classmates at the KWWL. The feeling was obviously mutual. Unfortunately, Myra Kirby knew that you and Brenda were the best students at her school, which was why Brenda had almost always your opponent during the unpaid exhibitions Kirby would put up to defray the expenses of your schooling. This is why you feel as if your professional wrestling career was shortened by a decade even before it began. The woman turned every match into an actual beatdown. Those ham-sized fists hurt, even when all you were doing is watching a video.
I'll get ya.
So, what do you think? Asks Sam. With a video pause, you find yourself once again aware of your surroundings. You're in a dingy studio apartment, filled with a strange combination of computer equipment and wrestling merchandise. It's like a Circuit City had a one-night stand with a Toys R Us. It's a very dated statement.
Whoa.
You're sitting on the edge of a bed, one of only 2 spots in the room cleared for human habitation. Sam McEnroe sits in the other, a steel chair naturally, drawn up close to a table that groans under the weight of recording equipment and video monitors. Sam is the vice president of promotions for Borderless Wrestling Federation, which means he spends most of his day uploading grainy shaky cam footage to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Shaky or not, those videos receive thousands of views from diehard BWowsers. What? BOWers? As the BWF fans call themselves. And they're one of the reasons why the BFW has been making a serious waves on the independent wrestling circuit. Well, that and the fact that they occasionally hold matches in a ring attached to a flatbed truck. A moving flatbed truck.
What?
So now you have a choice. It says, it'd be great if I had a match like that on a flatbed truck. I hope they don't put me in a match like that. Or I'll wrestle in whatever match they put me in.
I'm going for the flatbed truck.
You want to, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a wrestling match in which 2 guys started at the end of a truck. It was a trailer,
Yeah.
and it was a tractor filled with like hay bales. They had to get from one side all the way to the other, all while it was driving on a freeway. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, so we selected that. So this is signing at the BFW at a young age with your experience, or more accurately, your lack thereof, is quite a coup. Sam is in charge of putting together a series of vinaigrettes to help hype your debut. He's here to make you look good, or at least that's what you're led to believe. You look at the shot of your defeat and back at Sam. I was thinking of using this in your first video. Really captures your, essence, said Sam. Jeff says, I don't really think... Oh, don't worry, I already uploaded it. We're up to 5,000 views already. Hope it goes viral. He has a smile on his face and a twinkle in his eyes. He's enjoying this. Doesn't he know who you are? So now you have a choice to choose your name. Right, so you can be called Maverick.
Maverick.
You can call yourself Alana Lana Louie, Randy Roundhouse, Lita Ender, Blight, Avatar, or we can create our own.
Let's create our own.
Okay. So what do we want to be called?
Fighting Phelps.
Fighting. Should I spell that PHIT Fighting Phelps?
Yes.
Perfect. You're Fighting Phelps. You're a professional wrestler, and to see that smirk on his face makes you feel angry. I will not be disrespected. I'm used. Apparently, a bit of hazing, is it? Resigned. I'm used to people laughing at me. So amused?
Oh! I thought that was a sound effect.
Oh no! So are you angry at being disrespected? Are you amused? Or are you resigned?
I like the punishment. I'm amused.
You're amused? Yeah. Perfect.
My pain is their gain.
That's what I'm saying. Ah, now you get it. There's no way that Sam would sabotage the promotion he's working for just to mess with a new girl and making a debuting wrestler look like a lemon puts no butts in the seats. You grin. You almost had me there. Almost, Sam shakes his head, chuckling. You should have seen your face, woman. Well, you decide not to press the point. It is my career we're talking about here, after all. Never fear, Fighting Phelps. That was just a little welcome to the BWF gift to see if you're a cool cat, or one of those hair trigger types. Did I pass? Sam says, you'll do, and smiles. Come on, let's make you look good. So we got a lot of good stuff here, says Sam, bringing up a small window of match footage in one of his larger computer monitors. I'm impressed you've got better quality video than wrestlers who have been working the circuits for years. You nod. Myra knows what promoters look for. Myra Kirby, or Killer Kirby, as she's better known, as a former wrestler who worked all over the world and even made it all the way to the GWA. Sure, she'd spent her years there as a jobber, never winning any matches, but she kept her eyes and ears open and learned from the best. Not just from the wrestlers. Kirby paid attention to every aspect of the business. It was this wisdom that she passed on to you at her school, at least to the few whom still opened its doors. So now you have a choice. He says, I feel lucky that you got in, I got my money's worth, I suppose, or I still resent the hoops she made you jump through.
I still resent the hoops.
You still resent the hoops.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, so what we need to do now, Sam says, is tighten our focus. We need to highlight your strengths and cover up any weaknesses, and a big part of that will be the type of footage we select. He leans back in his chair. Now, lucky for you, we got a wide assortment of footage. I divided the clips into 3 broad categories. Sam walks you through each group. The first shows you doing a lot of power moves, suplexes, power bombs, vicious clotheslines. The second group shows off your mat skills with a lot of chain wrestling, extended sequences of you and your opponent countering each other's holds. The third group features promos you've cut before the matches, challenging or mocking your opponents. Which group should I draw heavily from? The first group, the power moves. The second,
go full heel.
You want to go full
mocking.
Heel? The mocking. The third one, the third group. Perfect. You consider your eloquence on the mic to be your greatest asset. There's one thing that all professional wrestlers greats have in common. It's their charisma. Promo ability is what separates the stars from the scenery. This group, you say, pointing to a clip where you got in the face of a larger woman and drove her into a blind rage. What would you say to drive a woman into a blind rage, Mike?
What would I say?
Yeah.
Is that your real hair?
Oh, looks like you got that makeup at Target.
Yes. I like how you can wear anything and you don't care.
Oh, my mother has that dress.
Oh, I didn't know you could vote.
That was sad.
Yes.
Okay. Great. I'm getting excited. Sam rolls up his sleeve. Not quite sure how that will help him type better, but whatever. We're going to be doing more than just vinaigrettes, though. So I'll be showing off other aspects of your game as well. But just to narrow things down, is there a group that you want me to emphasize? The first group, which focuses on power moves, or the mat wrestling? you want to be a technical wrestler like the American Dragon, or do you want to be a big powerhouse? Power.
Hopefully she only does power bombs.
That's what I'm saying. It says, I'm not going to be the strongest girl on your roster, you say. I'm not sure that if you have footage of a match where I try to suplex Brenda. Say no more, Sam says. I'll get you over by focusing on your promos and your technique. Sam chooses a few more video clips. Oh, I think we messed up. Hold on. I want to go back. I guess I didn't read that carefully. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh.
We're good.
Okay.
We just can't go back. So I think I made you a tactical wrestler.
Okay, that's fine.
A couple of cross faces.
Nothing like a mocker who can do a great headlock.
That's what I'm saying. So you can mock them while headlocking them.
Yes.
What would your go-to quote be? Like, what would you say to mock as you have them in a headlock?
Don't fuss with Phelps.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Okay, this thing is starting to take shape in my head. It's going to be epic. Sam fiercely shifts files around on his computer, then stops and whacks his forehead. Oh man, I almost forgot. Gator would have killed me. He rummages in his desk for something. He comes up with a sim folder. Inside is a copy of your contract. Just fill in the blanks. I wasn't sure about your full name, so I left that part out for you as well. And the blank is for your first name. So what's your first name?
Milena.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Maleynyah.
You gotta pick something easy. The second is your surname. What's
my surname is Smith.
So then why are you called Phelps?
You know, the wrestling name.
Oh, one more thing. You look up from the contract to see Sam still typing away at his computer. Have you and Gator agreed on whether you become a face or a heel? That'll color the tone for the vinaigrettes. Vinny Gator is the promoter and booker for BWF. So, do you want to be a face or do you want to be a heel?
Heel. Get that chair.
You're not really sure whether you should take that as a compliment, but Vinny says, if they're booing you, they'll pay to see you.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like Vinny, all right, Sam says. You got your work cut out for you. We've got a lot of heels at BWF. So, let's see. What are we doing for time? Okay, we're getting to that point where
I was kind of hoping my character would fall in a pit somewhere.
Fall into a pit.
It's not choose your own adventure until one of you falls into a pit.
Well, it's not a. We're not out questing, Mike. We're trying to be a pro wrestler here.
All right.
But like I said, so that was actually the end of the first chapter there, where you kind of chose everything. Oh, actually, wait, no, it's one last thing that we need to choose. Where's your hometown?
Where's my hometown? Kentucky.
Your hometown is Kentucky?
All of Kentucky.
Kentucky. All of Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kentucky, all of Kentucky is a quiet place where nothing happens, a bustling city, not always safe but never boring, a place where the rich and poor mix. I live on the right side of the tracks. Or you live on the wrong side of the tracks.
I live on the wrong side of the tracks.
Of course you do. Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of that first chapter. So I think we'll call the Choose Your Own Adventure end there. But next week we'll try a different one, and then we can choose which one we like the most. So we'll leave it up to you guys. But yeah, so begins a new exciting adventure.
The power of democracy will let you choose.
Yes, indeed. So before we end, Mike, is there anything that you want to talk about in the time that we have left?
Yes. My important philosophical / theological question is... Oh, I'm going to ruin it if I don't have it written down.
Oh, no.
But I don't have my tablet handy, so...
Isn't it right here?
Oh, maybe I do. Okay.
Under the script, interview.
Have you ever lost something? No, just kidding.
Okay.
What is one M-rated... what is some... okay, I wrote it really bad, too. What is content? What is some content in games you cannot stand? Like, what is your limit? Where if this is in a video game, nope, I am turning it off.
Okay. Is there? Oh, okay. Is there more to the question, or
No, that's
it. That's it.
What is your N-rated limit in terms of content?
That's a good question. Because I think the same can be said for like movies, TV shows, things like that. But I think video games is a little harder because it's like you are actively making that choice.
Yeah.
So, I don't. That's a really good question because I've played a lot of games, and some good, some bad, and the choices that the game makes you do is difficult. Like, I've never been the biggest fan of like games like Grand Theft Auto, just because I feel like the culture of that game is what deters me. Kind of the glorification of being a criminal, I think, and glorifying that, I think, is kind of what deters me. So whereas games like Wolfenstein, which are just as violent, I think, and don't necessarily deter me because the culture of that game, I feel like, isn't necessarily glorifying criminal behavior as much as it is a game that focuses on a story that kind of uses the gratuitous violence as a means to an end. Whereas Grand Theft Auto is a game where violence is there just for violence. Whether that's sexual, whether that's murder, whether that's stealing. Like it's not there to serve an end other than to allow the player to do it in the game because they can't do it in real life.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I kind of draw the line, where a game exists just for you to be able to do it because you can't do it in real life.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's kind of the story behind it.
Right. Like, what is the intent?
Right.
Like for example, like you take Game of Thrones and you take Lord of the Rings. Both high fantasy settings, both with kings, both with queens, elves, violence. But the culture of both those stories is vastly different, and a lot of it is, and a lot of it in Game of Thrones is very gratuitous, whereas in Lord of the Rings everything happens with a distinct plot point in mind rather than just to have it happen. So that's kind of how I see the difference.
Yeah.
What about for you, Mike?
Well, see, I have this weird one that I know not everyone follows.
Sure.
But I feel like it's also been like overlooked. So in a movie, when the actors are swearing and they drop the Lord's name in vain, it's like that was bad, but okay, it's part of the story.
Sure.
In a video game, it's just like it's like nails to chalkboard to me.
Okay.
It's so weird, and I thought like, well, maybe it's just a phase. So I bought Dead Rising 3, and like every so often he'll see a zombie and he'll yell Jesus, and I'm like oh. So like and Dead Rising 3 is already pretty disgusting on its own.
Right.
But for some reason, like, that to me is like where I draw the line. And I don't know what it is. Maybe like because I grew up with video games being polite about that, and then somewhere around 2000s they started dropping adult language, and I kind of felt betrayed.
Right.
And it's like, you brought him into it.
Right. No, for sure. That is definitely an interesting trend. I like to see. But like, I also feel like it depends on the context too for that, because like you were saying, like in a movie, like I can kind of see it. Whereas if the individual is like I keep thinking of, have you played like L.A. Noire or something like that?
Yes.
The games like in that aspect. Like I could understand if a character is going through like a really hard or very dangerous situation. Or the most recent Mafia 3 came out, and you play an African American soldier who comes back and is trying to clean up quote unquote New Orleans. It's not New Orleans, but it's based on New Orleans.
Yeah.
And you can understand why someone would use language like that, and not that it's acceptable or okay, but you can understand why it's there, and it's to a point, and it's to drive the plot. Whereas in Dead Rising, it's like gratuitous. It's just like there's no he sees a zombie and he takes the Lord's name in vain. And it's just like, why is that there? Like, it's just there for shock value. Yeah. Whereas in the other one, it's serving a point, and it's pointing towards this damaged culture that exists in antebellum South. And when you bust in on the Ku Klux Klan, like, obviously they're not doing a lot of worshiping of Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. There is a string of Christian movies, and I'm trying to find the director. But his movies are very interesting, as they'll have profanity in them, but they'll talk tons and tons about Jesus, and it'll also have like non-believing actors, like in this movie Believe Me, about a bunch of college students to pretend to do this revival to get money.
Oh wow!
And they go on this Christian tour, doing this con revival, and Nick Offerman's actually in it for like a hot minute.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it'll have swearing, but it'll actually have like kind of the Christian perspective in it, saying, no, you can't do that. This is for Jesus.
Right.
And so it was very interesting. But I noticed, like, out of all of that, he still wouldn't use the Lord's name in vain.
That's awesome.
Even though he says my movies are about reality, what actual real people would say.
Right.
So
that's interesting for sure. I think where I kind of draw the line is when something is gratuitous rather than serving a purpose. Yeah. That and I draw the line also at certain demonology stuff and a lot of creepy ritual, cryptic. So a lot of horror games and stuff I just won't play.
Yeah. Like the movie Darksiders. It seems like a PG-13 Legend of Zelda. Mm-hmm. But it's got this demons you have to negotiate with, in this underworld, and there's a part where you have to fight angels to get what you want.
Right.
And it just it just gave me the wrong tone.
Right.
Have you ever played Dante's Inferno?
Yeah. Well, that's a book.
Yes. But it's also a Castlevania ripoff.
Yeah. So is it called Dante's Inferno?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be God of War.
Oh yeah. And you play this knight kind of character with a scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a game where it crossed some spiritual lines. You have to forgive people or send them to hell.
Right, exactly.
And one of your enemies is unbaptized babies, which are babies with Wolverine claws, and you can hit X and you damn their soul, or you hit Y and you redeem them. And then you meet Judas and he's will you send Judas to hell or heaven?
Right.
Yeah, and it's I don't want that decision.
Right, that's not for me to decide.
Yes.
Yeah. It's stressful.
Yeah.
But then the real question is Sims actually just one large blasphemous game? Because you are playing God? So you're creating and controlling this creature's life? Perspective.
Should be called Calvinism Simulator.
That's what I'm saying. But I think I think same thing with video games, same thing with movies. I want stuff to have a purpose and a point, and I don't want to. It's all about context for me. Yeah,
I'm trying to reduce video gaming to a fun party where we just all come together as a team and I don't know, kill mice.
Right, something.
Or play Who's Your Daddy.
Right. Yeah, what happened to the days of Mario Kart and Mario Party and Super Mario Tennis, Mario.
It's probably the reason I have no friends.
Valid. Oh man, that was a good question, Mike. That was giving me a lot to think about. And why? So,
in short, video games are bad for you. Don't play it.
Yeah.
If you want to go to heaven, you know what to do.
Don't play video games.
Yes. Or not do.
Or not do. depending on your choice. So, do you have a disgusting treat?
Yes, I do, and it's
My favorite and least favorite part of our podcast.
So I'm always trying to bring culture to you.
Of course, because I'm uncultured.
Yes, I'm always trying to bring what's hip and cool in those Asian supermarkets.
Oh no!
Have you ever heard of a fruit called lychee?
Yes.
Well, someone made it into a pudding, a white pudding.
Oh no! My worst enemy. Pudding.
Pudding?
I do not like pudding.
Oh, no. I don't think there's a lot of foods you like.
No, I love a bunch of different foods. It's just I don't like certain flavor combinations because I'm a real human being.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go get us some spoons. Or we're gonna do this finger style.
We'll do it spoon style.
Okay.
I'm not an animal.
Right. So, explain to them what a
Okay, so
lychee nut is.
in Thailand, there's many exotic fruits, including the lychee. The lychee is kind of a red, bumpy fruit. It tastes kind of like a fruit roll-up, but you pulled it off of a vine.
Yeah. So to describe it, it looks white. It looks like snow.
Yeah. And not to sound disgusting, but those diaper pails?
Yes.
And you know how they have that perfume smell?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the perfume smell without the diapers.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Oh.
I'm ecstatic for this. It's... it reminds me of... Honestly, it's the physical personification of the soul of the White Witch from Lion Lynch and the Wardrobe.
Oh, yes, it could be. Or in The Empire Strikes Back, when they open up that tauntaun.
This would come out of it.
Yes, this is what would come out of it.
This is what Han and Luke's body smelled like after they came out of the tauntaun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
All right.
Okay, well, it's very gelatinous.
A little white.
It's like Vaseline. No, you know what it is? It's like an egg white.
It's egg white with fruit.
Mike, what are you doing to me? You got a very brave amount of it.
Yes, broadening your mind.
Bottoms up.
So, to describe Adam's face, it's like he just ate a whole lemon.
It's so gelatinous-y.
Ugh.
See, it tastes okay. Like, it's sweet. Like, it doesn't taste bad. It's the mouthfeel for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's what I imagine eating a Goomba would taste like. It's really gooey.
Or if someone cut open a chocolate whale. This is what would come out.
The blubber.
Yes.
No, you know what it is? It's I feel like it's what the inside of a peep would be.
Yes. I can see that. Well, this is part of my Thai culture. So I'm okay with
your
it.
Thai culture?
Mhm.
Your Thai?
Yes, I went there for 2 weeks, so pretty much I identify as Taiwanese.
That's so funny. Like I like lychee nut. I like the flavor. And whenever I do get boba, I'm weird. See, I don't like gelatinous or like pudding kind of textures, but I do like boba tea.
Right.
So I like the lychee nut flavor, like in the boba tea. But I don't know. It's just something about the gelatinous.
See, in Asia, they really like to take any fruit and turn it into a pudding.
Yeah, they're really all about the pudding.
And that's actually their dessert. That's probably as far as they'll go. Why we have triple chocolate cakes.
Right.
They just have gelatinous pineapple.
Right. It's weird. I'm going for another one.
There's actually some fruit in it.
Oh, sure.
So maybe the part you actually do like.
Maybe.
Also, if you want to go on our Facebook and suggest Rochester foods I could feed Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in on this.
Yes.
Yeah, let's put this up. What do you want to see Adam eat next?
Yep. Last week it was the Yahoo chocolate bar.
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo. Next will be the Bing chocolate bar.
Yeah, so if you guys have suggestions, we'd love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
By love, I mean Mike would love to hear it, and I will sit here and dread.
I have an iron constitution.
It's true.
Minus last week.
Right. Mine's an aluminum one that's rusted.
Yes.
Oh man. But what did you learn today, Mike?
Oh, there's so much. I learned that making a wrestler is very long.
Yeah, very tedious.
Very tedious. And a lot of paperwork.
You got a lot of really. You gotta sign a lot of insurance waivers.
Yeah. What'd you learn?
What did I learn? I learned that I need a better defense about why I play video games.
Oh. That's when it gets you. You know? You're riding high on the Call of Duties and Battlefields, and then you read a John Piper article.
Yeah.
And then you're fasting for 3 weeks, living as a monk.
I actually read this. I read this Babylon Bee article where it was like John Piper celebrates his birthday by playing Smash Bros for 5 minutes.
Yes.
But so at the end of the article, after he is done playing the game for 5 minutes, he like goes into a study and like mourns because he feels like he wasted 5 minutes and he'll never get it back. And he,
Yes.
but and I also learned that there are a lot of good comic books out there that deserve a movie.
Right. We're sitting on gold mines, and any one of us could be making the next movie. By the way, that Batman versus Superman Public Enemies skit,
Yes.
I actually wrote a script for it
Oh.
between the dead hours of work, and I'd be happy to share it with anyone who's listening. I mean, this is kind of like the equivalent of will you read my fanfic?
Yeah, exactly. Should we read a selection from it?
Oh, there'd have to be voices and sound effects. But yes.
We should. We'll work on it. We should do it.
We should. And then it should be sent straight to Hollywood.
Not to anybody in particular, just Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood. Does Hollywood have an address?
Yeah. 1-800-HOLLYWOOD.
Maybe if I just put it on the Hollywood Road
Right.
and just walk away.
Tape it to the Hollywood sign. Alright, but so that was Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
Yeah.
We're really glad you came.
But yeah, we always walk away or end our podcast like we just walked away with a bad taste in our mouths. Yeah, that was that was interesting.
Yeah. That's because usually we just got done eating something really gross.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
do have a bad taste in our mouth.
Oh, that's true. Carry on.
Mike, it's the end of our podcast.
Yay!
I can't wait to see you guys next time.
Vote for us.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Wait, vote on what?
Our next Mountain Dew flavor.
Okay, bye.
Bye.